It dawned on Vince Horseman in mid-May, in one of Sean Reid-Foley's rougher starts, that the Blue Jays pitching prospect was ready to vie for a spot in the big leagues. Reid-Foley was making his sixth start of the season with a Double-A New Hampshire Fisher Cats. He went into the game with a 5-0 record and a 1.83 ERA, after posting a less than tidy 5.07 ERA in the minors in 2017. Blue Jay Sean Reid-Foley went 5 innings in his big league debut against the Royals on Monday. Brian Davidson, Getty Images. Fisher Cats pitching coach Vince Horseman, right, with outfielder Harold Ramirez, says the best prospects learn from adversity. Heather Johns, New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Horseman, the Fisher Cats pitching coach, remembers Reid-Foley didn't have good command of his fastball that day in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The 22-year-old right-hander loaded the bases in the first 2 innings, and walked 5 across 4 frames. Still, he limited the damage to just 1 run. He had the bases loaded with 1 out and he threw a really good changeup and the guy rolled it into a double play. I think it happened twice during that game. That's when I knew, that one game, Horseman said. That's when I knew Sean was ready. When Horseman first met Reid-Foley in 2014, shortly after he was drafted by Toronto in the 2nd round, he was young and raw. There were mechanical changes to be made, but Horseman loved Reid-Foley's arm. Article continued below. I remember he had this swagger about him, said Horseman, the Dartmouth, NS native whose big league career included 4 relief appearances with the Jays. And I liked it. It was like, hey, this is a pretty confident kid. That's what I loved about him. The pair rose through the minors together. Reid-Foley considers Horseman his second dad. Horseman thinks it is key as a coach to care more about the person than the player. In 2017, when Reid-Foley struggled and posted a 5.09 ERA, was difficult on both the person and the player. I saw a guy that just got out of his personality a little bit, Horseman said. But there were a lot of pluses to last year. Even when you struggle, there's still some good things that happened last year with Sean. The development of his changeup. If you took that out of the equation and he just kind of gave up and went back to doing what he used to do, he probably would have had a pretty decent year. But he also knew that if he wanted to start that he had to develop his changeup. Horseman watched as the pitcher gave up a career-high 22 home runs, many on the changeup, and got frustrated. But Reid-Foley put in the work and Horseman didn't worry about him. What everybody might see as a step back, I never saw it. I saw it as a step forward in development. That work has paid dividends. Reid-Foley went a combined 12-4 at New Hampshire and Triple-A Buffalo before making his major league debut against the Kansas City Royals on Monday. He gave up 3 runs on 6 hits over 5 innings. Article continued. Reid-Foley found himself in a situation similar to the one against Harrisburg almost 3 months ago. He loaded the bases before getting an out in the 4th inning. After surrendering a bases-loaded walk to Ryan O'Hearn, Reid-Foley got Adalberto Mondesi to pop out and Alcides Escobar to ground into a double play, limiting the damage. I think what happened with Sean last year, finally dealing with some adversity, I think when you look back it was probably good, said Horseman, who believes Reid-Foley's character and work ethic will keep him in the majors. He doesn't care about statistics. He wants to win. Period. Other kids are worried about, I put up numbers and I can go make some money. Sean's like, I just want to win. I don't care if I win 6-4 or 1-0, I just want to win. I love that. Every time that he steps out on the mound, he gives everything he has. Laura Armstrong is a sports reporter based in Toronto. Follow her on Twitter, @LauraArmy.